friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm waiting here for my bus, but it is said that it is late for 5 minutes. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm getting bored. Thank God. Hi Nikki. How are you? Hi Laura. I'm fine. How are you? Oh, I'm good too. Thank you. Actually, I'm waiting for the bus and it is late, so I'm getting bored. Haha, you're getting bored. Okay, since you tell a story every day, let me share you my story today. Oh please, that will be so great! I was born in a secluded village on a mountain. Day after day, my parents plowed the yellow dry soil with their backs toward the sky. One day, I wanted to buy a handkerchief, which all girls around me seemed to have. So one day I stole 50 cents from my father's drawer. Father discovered about the stolen money right away. He asked my brother and me, who stole the money? I was stunned, too afraid to talk. Neither of us admitted to the fault. So he said, fine, if nobody wants to admit, you both should be punished. Suddenly, my younger brother gripped father's hand and said, Dad, I was the one who did it. He took the blame and the punishment for me. In the middle of the night, all of a sudden, I cried out loudly. My brother covered my mouth with his little hand and said, Sis, now don't cry anymore. Everything has happened. I will never forget my brother's expression when he protected me. That year, my brother was 8 years old and I was 11 years old. I still hate myself for not having enough courage to admit what I did. Years went by, but the incident still seemed like it has happened yesterday. When my brother was in his last year of secondary school, he was accepted in an upper secondary school in the central part of town. At the same time, I was accepted into an university in the province. That night, father squatted in the yard, smoking packet by packet. I could hear him ask my mother, both of our children, they have good results, very good results. Mother wiped off her tears. What is the use? How can we possibly finance both of them? At that time, my brother walked out. He stood in front of father and said, Dad, I do not want to continue to study anymore. I have read enough books. Father became angry. Why do you have a spirit so weak? Even if it means I have to beg for money on the streets, I will send you two to school until you have both finished your studies. And then he started to knock on every house in the village to borrow money. I stuck out my hand as gently as I could to my brother's face and told him a boy has to continue his study. If not, he will not be able to overcome his poverty we are experiencing. I, on the other hand, decided not to further my studies at the university. Nobody knew that on the next day, before dawn, my brother left the house with a few pieces of worn-out clothes and few dry beans. He sneaked to my side of the bed and left a note on my pillow. Sis, getting into a university is not easy. I will go find a job and I will send money to you. I held the note while sitting on my bed and cried until I lost my voice. With the money father borrowed from the whole village and the money my brother earned from carrying cement on his back at a construction site, finally, I managed to get a third year of my study at the university. That year, my brother was 17 years old and I was 20. One day, while I was studying in room, my roommate came in and told me, there's a villager waiting for you outside. Why would there be a villager looking for me? I walked out and I saw my brother from afar. His whole body was covered with dirt, dust, cement and sand. I asked him, why did you not tell my roommate that you were my brother? He replied and smiled, look at my appearance. What will they think if they would know that I'm your brother? Won't they laugh at you? I felt so touched and tears filled my eyes. I swept away dirt and dust from my brother's body and told him a lump in my throat. I don't care what people would say. You are my brother, no matter what your appearance is. From his pocket, he took out a butterfly hair clip. He put it on my hair and said, I saw all the girls in town are wearing it. I think you should also have fun. I could not hold back myself anymore. I pulled my brothers in my arm and cried. That year, my brother was 20 and I was 23 years old. After that, I got married. I lived in a city. Many times my husband invited my parents to come and live with us. But they didn't want. They said once they leave the village, they won't know what to do. My brother agreed with them. He said, Sis, you just take care of your parents-in-law. I'll take care of mom and dad here. My husband became the directors of his factory. We asked my brother to accept the offer of being the manager in the maintenance department, but my brother rejected the offer. He insisted on working as a repairman instead of a start. One day, my brother was on the top of a ladder repairing cable. when he got electrocuted and was sent to the hospital. My husband and I visited him at the hospital. Looking at the plaster cast on his leg, I grumbled. Why did you reject the offer of being a manager? Managers won't do something dangerous like that. Now look at you. You are suffering a serious injury. Why didn't you just listen to us? With a serious expression on his face, he defended his decision. Think of your brother-in-law. He just became the director. If I, being uneducated, would become a manager, what kind of rumors would fly around? My husband's eyes filled with tears, and I said, but you lack in education only because of me. He said, why do you talk about the past? And then he held my hand. That year, he was 26 years old, and I was 29. My brother was 30 years old when he got married to a farmer girl from the village. During the wedding reception, the master of ceremonies asked him, who is the one person you respect and love the most? Without even taking a time to think, he answered, my sister. He continued by telling a story which I could not even remember. He said, when I was in primary school, the school was in a different village. Every day, my sister and I would walk for 2 hours to school and back home. One day, I lost one of my gloves. My sister gave me one of hers. She wore only one glove and she had to walk far. When we got home, her hands were trembling because of the cold weather. She could not even hold her chopsticks. From that day on, I swore that as long as I lived, I would take care of my sister and would always be good to her. After listening to this, all the guests turned their attention to me and I found it hard to speak. In my whole life, the one I would like to thank the most is my brother. And in this happy occasion in front of the crowd, tears were rolling down my face. Oh, Nikki, that's such a lovely story. Thank you for sharing it with my friends. Thank you so much. Okay, bye, Lara. I need to go. See you, Nikki. So, friends, the moral is love and care for the one you love every single day of your life. You may think what you did is just a small deed, but to that someone, it may mean a lot. Some relations are made to be last longer, but they still need to be nurtured with love and care, always. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe the channel.